Welcome back to another episode of Man of Dorks. It's me, Seth Templin, co-host of the show, back with Dustin. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good.
And it is still night because my family is still out, so this is about the only time that we can record. Man, it's been a crazy week of Magic. A lot of big news this week.
Yes, it has. It really has.
First off, what do you think about the additions to the game changers, the banning and unbanning lists? Were you happy, satisfied, dissatisfied?
I'm pretty. I'm gonna go with whatever the official rules are. Whatever is pretty standard. I thought the unbans were not that great. I think that some people really were. I don't know. They were really thinking something that I don't think anyone was like who thought Tolarian Academy was going to get unbanned? Dockside not getting unbanned. Dockside should never be unbanned. Like it's such a ridiculous card. Like I think people thought way too much of Wizards. I think a lot of people. So the Wizards getting a hold of the Commander format started because of bans, right? So I think a lot of those people expected Wizards to unban one, two, or maybe two, possibly all three of the cards that started us down this path where Wizards now has control of the Commander format, because the idea is, Wizards unbans Mana Crypt, Jeweled Lotus, and Dockside because they're easy money chase cards for future sets. So I believe that's where the thought was on those cards and why people expected them to get unbanned. But I'm not upset it didn't happen. I actually own a Mana Crypt. It's 100% going in Kennen if it ever gets unbanned. I would love to have a Jeweled Lotus. It's a great card, but it's banned right now, so I'm not too concerned with it. I guess the biggest thing for me going forward is looking at banned cards. What cards should I consider grabbing a copy of while they're still really cheap in the event that they get unbanned? Is kind of crazy because I actually got rid of my what's that? It's one of the banned cards. He's the green Primeval Titan. I sold him 2 years ago because he was worth a little bit of money because I needed, I wanted to get some other cards. Because I was like, he's banned. I'll never be able to use him. But it's now he might actually come off the ban list in the future. And I don't really regret selling him now. But it's what card should I consider pulling a copy of? Because I actually do own Hull Breacher. I got a copy of him because it was $1, and I loved Merfolk. I actually got him not knowing he was banned. I was like, oh, gotta get Hull Breacher for a Merfolk deck. He just completely shuts down multi-card draw, and he probably will never get unbanned because he plays into a really unfun strategy. Going off of their rules and what they're looking for in the Commander format, the really easy to play makes the game super unfun will probably not get unbanned, and then the really high end power cards will probably never get unbanned as well. I think they did mention Jeweled Lotus is the only possibility of coming off, which makes sense. It's a Commander only card. You literally, by banning it in Commander, you have made it unplayable. I think that was a little ridiculous. That's like banning Command Tower and saying it's too good of a land. It does exactly what you need it to do. It's only playable in Commander. You can't put Command Tower in a non-Commander deck. It doesn't work. So
it wouldn't work at all, would it? Because it's your commander. It's a mana of your commander.
Right, because your commander's color identity doesn't exist in any other format of game. I'm not sure about Brawl. I don't know if it's called Commander or not. But with the exception of Brawl, I'll leave Brawl out of this. It's not viable in any other format. And then the game changer list, I thought that was significant. 18 cards got added to the game changer list. Man, it was crazy. I don't know if you remember when we played before Say It in Common a little while back. That deck got bumped immediately up to tier 3 it went from bracket 1 to bracket 3 in the course of one video, all because it has aura shards in it. And looking at what they added, I don't disagree. Those were all really good cards. There's probably more cards going on the Game Changer list next year, I'm sure of it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some cards that are going to immediately jump on that list from Final Fantasy. I don't know about Tarkir. I'm assuming since they didn't address anything from Tarkir, they're not too concerned about anything.
Yeah.
But Final Fantasy, I 100% can see that cactus being put on the game changer list.
Yeah.
And
plus $9,999.
Right, and right, and not because not only does it one shot anybody, but it also
and you can fling it.
You can it one shots a player. You can fling it. You can Swords of Plowshares it and gain 10,000 life. Mm-hmm. If so, in response to somebody else trying to get rid of it, like there's a ton of things you can do with it. It's going to become a powerful creature-based draw card engine is what's going to end up happening. For anything that cares about like power is what's going to end up like fueling.
Do you know off the top of your head if that's a common or uncommon or rare?
It's got to be rare. I doubt it's mythic. Because of like the players, I don't see that kind of ability because it's a really powerful ability, but it's not it's not like I don't know. It doesn't scream mythic to me. It's definitely going to be a rare though. There's no way. Like that's already a chase card. It's already expensive, right out of the gate.
How much do you think? Yeah, how much do you think that's just going to be?
It's probably day one. Oh, day one will be probably more expensive than it'll ever be. This is a card that I see slowly like falling down in price until it settles somewhere and never drops below that because, like I said, it has a lot of potential. It wins. Yeah. I imagine it'll be around $20 or $30 somewhere in there. I could completely miss that. Because when I'm looking at Final Fantasy,
it's common or uncommon.
No, even then it'll stay really expensive. Common or uncommon,
so many copies.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Common or uncommon will only affect it because of the quantity, and even then it'll still be heavily desired. So it'll probably get anywhere from $15 to $18, and it can potentially creep up in price over the years as a common or uncommon as it gets harder to get copies of it. But that that's got to be a rare though. That ability is so ridiculous. It just has to be a rare.
It seems like it has to be a rare. Yeah, I agree.
Right, and for a price point like looking for its future, I have to look at Lord of the Rings for this. I don't look at a normal Magic the Gathering set. I look at Lord of the Rings because Lord of the Rings. One. Well, good Lord of the Rings cards will hold prices for two reasons. Number one, the effect is good, powerful, and can be used in a wide variety of the game state. But then also, Lord of the Rings fans want Lord of the Rings cards, so that gives them a little more demand than a normal card would. So I put Final Fantasy and Spider-Man in that category. There's going to be people who want the cards because they're fans of the IP, and there's people that are going to want the cards because they're good cards. So
okay, you're broaching a topic we're going to be getting into a little bit later, but I want to hold off. I still want to talk about the game changers and stuff a little bit, but we're going to circle back to that for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that is interesting. I do want really quick. Do you think that Final Fantasy will do better, or about the same, or slightly worse than Lord of the Rings in terms of sales?
Dude, I've already heard. I don't know if he's lying. Keep in mind this is corporate information, but I've read that the CEO of Wizards has said that on pre-release this is the best-selling Magic the Gathering set ever. Now I don't know if that's him bolstering for the set. Or if that's true, I don't know.
Well,
that is
might even be true for Tarkir right now. Like Tarkir is killing it. People are loving this set back into in-universe this in-universe set. They're really enjoying that. Yeah. Tarkir is breaking a lot of records for Wizards, I think. It's doing extremely well. I'm in a Whatnot Discord group, and it's just a bunch of people who sell, and I'm just kind of a purchaser, kind of paying attention to what they're talking about. They're just talking about how much money everyone's making because everyone is enjoying and playing this Tarkir set.
That's good. The sad thing about Tarkir is it's really the only true in-universe set we're getting this year, so that kind of makes it sad. Like
still breaching.
Okay.
Back to the game changers and stuff though, and the ban list. I think that Gavin, is it Leahy?
I just know him as Gavin. He's one of Prof's good friends. The dude, he's a cool guy. I would definitely like to meet him. He definitely did a really good job with his delivery of the video. That
he's doing a fantastic job. I guess he's like in charge of the popper and kind of also in charge of Commander, I guess, a little bit, or maybe just player relations about it or whatever. But like the game changer, the Commander stuff this week has been. I mean, there's people who's complaining. A lot of people don't like that there's ban lists. They don't like the game changer list. There's too many cards. Yada yada. But
they even addressed that.
Yeah. I think that they're a genius. I think that in Commander, at least, the game changer list is going to significantly drop the ban list, and that's what they want to do. I think they'll eventually. We talked about this earlier in the week. I think that they're eventually going to add tiers of game changers, so they can unban that Mana Crypt and just call that a game changer too. So it's worth 2 game changers at the same time, or whatever.
I think that
they're smarter. They know the sets better. They know the rules. They know what they can call it to make it a little bit better. I just think that's what they're going to do with this game changer, so they can unban cards and give people the chance to play with these crazy broken cards that people want to pay for, and that just makes them more money because then they're all about making money. It's Wizards. Come on.
Right.
So I think they're geniuses for that. I think that the game changer list is genius. And just the way that Gavin is being upfront with all the players, like, this is what we're doing. This is a beta. We're trying. We appreciate y'all's feedback. Everyone seems to be, like, for the majority, it's over 50% of people seem to be enjoying it. So that I saw this on a Reddit post as well. Just that upfrontness that they're doing with the Commander stuff is just refreshing. And that just, we're going to just lean right into our next conversation here with the Omen pads.
Gotcha. Because
people are so, like, upset and crazy about this blunder with the Spider-Man IP that's gone through with the Omen pads.
And that's something. So I know of it, and I've read a little bit about it. Is this a fault of Wizards, or is this a Marvel just will not let them have digital products? Because I wasn't really sure where that line was. Like, I couldn't tell if that was something.
It could be both.
Okay.
It could be both. Wizards just may not be willing to pay an exorbitant, crazy amount to get the digital IPs from Marvel. Right. But also, Marvel has, like, what's their card game?
Snap.
Yeah,
I could see.
So they don't want competition. They don't want competition. And apparently this is going forward. All Marvel stuff will no longer be on the on Arena or on Magic the Gathering Online. Right. So for our listeners, if you don't know, Through the Omen Pads is a first time thing that's happening because Wizards could not get the digital IPs to put the Spider-Man set that's coming out in August, I believe, or September. August, maybe.
I will say, this isn't the first time they've done that. They've made universes within copies of exterior IPs. I think we even mentioned this last time.
But never a full 300 card
exactly
set.
And that's worth mentioning. That's the difference here, is that the entire set is getting an in-universe a universes within, essentially, variation of it. And it's so bad that they even have to change the names, which I think is going to be the most, like, confusing part.
Oh yeah. So what's happening is there's going to be, like, I think the Spider-Man, is it the Marvelous or the Amazing Spider-Man? That's the, like, main card that people have been showing. Yeah. The Amazing Spider-Man. That's just a colorless, a blue, and a white mana to play this commander. Play this card.
Very nice, because Spider-Man's colors are red and blue.
And then every time
you say blue and white?
I think it's blue and white, yeah.
Oh, see, I thought we were going Spider-Man's colors. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
But I think every time he attacks, he gets to tap a creature or something. So he is a 3-mana creature, human arachnid scientist or something, or
he's
hero.
Not a hero?
He might be a hero. I'm not sure.
Okay, because
I'm remembering off the top of my head.
Right, they created Hero when they released the Marvel Secret Lair.
Real quick.
Yeah, I don't know if Deadpool probably isn't a hero. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not a hero. He might just be like a mercenary or something. But like Iron Man's a hero, Captain America's a hero, Storm is a hero, Wolverine is a hero. I think that's all 4 of them. They were the first heroes.
It's actually the Sensational Spider-Man. He is a colorless, a white, and a blue. Okay. He is a legendary creature, spider human hero.
Okay.
He's a 3/3. Whenever Sensational Spider-Man attacks, tap target creature defending player controls and put a stun counter on it. Then you may remove up to 3 stun counters from among all permanents. Draw cards equal to the number of stun counters. So that is the Spider-Man card that you will be able to go to your local game store, that you will be able to pick up a Marvel pack of Spider-Man, and you can open that card. If you play on Magic the Gathering Arena or Magic the Gathering Online, there is going to be the exact same card, just not called Sensational Spider-Man. It'll still cost a colorless, a white, and a blue.
Right.
It will not be a Spider-Human hero. I don't know what it'll be. I saw the card.
Well, no, it probably will still be a Spider-Human hero.
Well, maybe.
Because if you change the creature type, you change the card.
I've heard they have to be very careful with that, though, because Marvel could sue them for being
cards?
like ripping off Spider-Man. So they have to make it quite different.
They can't make it mechanically different, though. I mean,
no, the mechanics are all the same. It's going to be the text box reads exactly the same. 3/3 is exactly the same, but it will not have the same name. It will not. It will not be Spider-Man. It's an in-universe card.
Right.
So listing, I'm new to all the drama of Magic the Gathering, like getting into it, listening to the prof, listening to a bunch of different people and stuff. A lot of people dislike the Universes Beyond stuff. They want to stay in universe. Just give us the Magic the Gathering cards that we've known since the early 90s. Yep. Just don't bring in Doctor Who. Don't bring in Jurassic Park. Don't bring in Spider-Man. Don't bring in all of this stuff that is not part of the actual game. Don't do it. Give us in-universe stuff. And a lot of people are upset this year because we're getting an Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're getting a Spider-Man. We're getting what was the last one? Final Fantasy. We were just talking about it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the in-universe stuff has been just they call them like dress-up hats. The Aether Drift was just race cars or death metal, like death race.
Yep. And then
but people love
Edge of Eternities. Edge of Eternities is just like, I think it's in space or something. Is what the thing people are thinking it's going to be. It's a cool concept, like the Edge of Eternities, but I don't actually know what the plans are, and I think that's the issue, is no one else does. So we're expecting like Magic the Gathering in space, basically.
So 6 sets a year, that's crazy. That's a lot. That's hard to keep up with. Too much. And half of them are in universe and half of them are out of universe. And I mean, it seems like they're putting more effort into the out of universe, the Universes Beyond. Because I mean, it's bringing in new players. It's bringing in people who love Spider-Man. Hey, I want to draft a Spider-Man deck. I can open these cards and I see characters that I recognize. I know I don't have to have been playing this game since the 90s to understand this.
Yep.
That's fine. I understand that. That's cool. How do you feel? How do you feel about Universes Beyond?
I mean, when it's an IP I like, I appreciate it. If it's not an IP I like, I just look at the mechanics and I go, can I use this in my decks? And I go from there. Like, it doesn't bother me too much because I've missed a lot of the epic lore telling days of the past where their actual in-universe stuff used to be good. I mean, like when we started playing, that was Zendikar. It was really cool. A lot of crazy stuff going on. The Eldrazi's, I think, made their first. Rise of the Eldrazi was the set that came out right around there, and that was when we got reintroduced. So I knew about that. The lore from the lore perspective, it's like the stuff happening in Magic is cool, but the actual stories that they're telling, they haven't really done that great of a job at it, unfortunately. So it's hard to hear people like because I know Prof is a big one. He doesn't like that they're doing half of their products fit Universes Beyond and half Universes Within, and it's even worse, like I said, with Edge of Eternities and Aether Drift not feeling Universes Within. But it's like their writing has been so bad. This just, I mean, I would rather have Universes Beyond and have something that's going to do well and it's going to be fun. Than have Universes Within, and they're just cards half the time, because like they've even released cards that have nothing to do with the actual set going on. I think that happened in Bloomborough. Like there were cards that came out that you could tell were intended for something else, and they just stuck them in there. And it's like, well, then you're not really sticking to like anything going on. You're just printing cards. If you're just going to print cards, than just print. I'd rather you print Final Fantasy if that's the case. I'd rather see chocobos on my stuff and tonberries and all the other stuff I know from Final Fantasy, other than just random crap that you're just printing because you want this card in the game. I would rather have it be that way, and there would be no like confusion or just like falsalities going on with what they're trying to like pull the wool over it.
So let me ask you this: does it bother you to build a deck to where you have Cloud equipped with Captain America's shield,
right?
Crewing the Ghostbusters van, all of these things? It doesn't bother you to put all those things in a deck and put them together?
I mean, because here's the thing: we are planeswalkers. That's the whole concept of Magic the Gathering. Okay. We are beings that pull forces from beyond the realms to help us in our struggle. That's what we were already doing. People just don't understand. They see Magic the Gathering and they think Magic the Gathering, but no. We've got Bloomburrow, we've got Duskmourn, we've got Ravnica, we've got all the Shards of Alara, we've got Zendikar. These are, Eldraine. These are all places that are not normally attached together. It's only through the story and the interference and the villains and the interference of the Planeswalkers that even tied them together in the first place. This is essentially what Magic the Gathering is. This is just not the lore that they wrote. This would be like an D&D campaign if a gateway opened up and we spent like a whole chapter on Ravnica, because that's just what happened. And then, Seth getting mad at you like, Seth, we're not really doing your lore, so I don't really feel like we're playing D&D in your world. It's like, but that's what happened. It's like, that's what always happens with Magic the Gathering. That's what's always has happened. We've never gone to the same plane. So I feel like they just need something to complain about, really. The only problem, my one true problem with Universes Beyond is the price point. Other than that, I don't care. And if it was to the point where it was causing Wizards problems because the player base overwhelmingly wanted more Universes Within, then just do like 4 and 2. Do two Beyond IPs, do 4 Within, and then there you go. If anyone doesn't care, they can skip those 2. Like you said, 6 sets a year is ridiculous anyway.
Yeah.
So all that
I do
Wizards,
think the 4 and 2 would be better. I think two Universes Beyond would be better than.
But even with 3 and 3, let's just stick with what we have right now. 6 sets a year is absolutely insane. So if you hate Universes Beyond, you just got relieved of 3 sets that you don't have to worry about. And if you're like a Pro Tour player, you're along for the ride. It doesn't matter if they start printing Teletubbies. You're along for the ride if you're like a Pro Tour player and this is how you make a living. It doesn't matter what gets printed. If you like it, great. If you don't, I mean, it's either that or find another job. So like when it's stuff you base your career off of it. I mean, that's how all of us are, My job could take a turn tomorrow and I may be really miserable, but that's still my job. I can't just, I guess I could find another job, same as you. So I don't really look at that as part of the consideration. But if you don't like Universes Beyond, congratulations. You now have 3 sets this year that you just get to you get to let your wallet heal, because none of us get to. I'm probably barely going to get any Final Fantasy stuff. The price point is where I just cannot stand it, because it's like you said, they're pulling in all these new players because the new players don't know what the price point is, and even if they do, if they can afford it, that's even better for Wizards. That's where I'm just getting so sick of it. Like, they brought back MSRP here recently, and they're just using it as it means nothing. Stuff is still pricing for whatever they want it to, and the secondary market. I'm getting so tired of it as a
That's
consumer.
consumers' fault, though. That's consumers' fault.
Yeah, because us as players, absolutely it is, because us as players are too short-sighted to say, hey, I'm not going to pay this ridiculous, exorbitant price. You're going to have to come down, or I'm just not going to buy. What? There should be warehouses full of Final Fantasy stock up to a month after release, and just burn down these scalpers, because that's what needs to happen. It's just not going to happen, because you're going to have those people that go, well, I'll let everyone else not get it, and I'll get it. and I'll just pay the premium price as they'll probably consider it. And that's where the problem goes. Is people are the selfish people that can afford it will afford it. And
unfortunately, though, Wizards does care about the secondary market.
They're
not going to do that.
They proved that.
This same week.
Yeah, we'll get to that later on in this conversation.
We can go ahead and talk about that right now.
Talking about secret layers?
Well, yes. I don't want to talk about what I was going to talk about. Yes. The secret layers they put out this week were, which I think the normal cards were still $30, right? $39.99? Or was it? Yeah, $39.99.
Yeah.
But then the foils were $59.99, $20 more. But the reason that that's a big deal is because they put out a card in this. It was just 4 cards, right? 4 Friendly Witch or something. That was what the name. I didn't even look at them. I didn't care anything about it.
It was called something Witch, but it was. I feel bad because the art style looked really nice. Yeah, anyone that likes that, really, you just suffered for no reason because of the choices that they made in card choice. I think the real hit here was one of those cards. It was called Realms Uncharted or something. I think Realms Uncharted is right. One of those cards, the foil copy, is worth a ton because it hasn't gotten like much reprints or something. There's something to do with that, but it was really expensive.
So that's
only the foil.
Right there. Yeah, it's showing that Wizards cares about the secondary market because they allowed this indie artist from Japan to take these specific cards and to go ahead and do some art. So, I mean, it is good for that artist. They're getting their name out there. That's fine. Yeah. But they chose these cards specifically so that they could get them out and people would buy them and it would drive up the price of this.
Well, no. I don't think that they did it to drop the price. I think
for sure.
No.
Cares about it.
No. Anytime you print a card new, you traditionally drive the price down because there's now more of them out there.
Understand that.
But the point is they wanted the secret layer to sell. So if you looked at that, if that Realms Uncharted wasn't in there, and it was, let's say, a $10 card, all of a sudden this secret layer is no longer worth the value. The only people who buy the secret layer are the ones who want the artwork. And that significantly drives down sales. If you look at secret layers, there's always one, sometimes 2, mostly just one big money card in there because that's the card that Wizards knows it's going to support the secret layers. For Wizards, it's about selling secret layers. That's all it's about. And I don't that's no fault on the artist. I don't think the artist ever gets to choose. I think there have been times where they've said that the artist requested certain cards, but I mean, I have to put that on. I don't put that on Wizards. I wouldn't put that on the artist behind the cards. It's like you said,
$29.99. My bad.
Yeah, it was $39. Well, it is $40 when you pay for shipping.
$10 shipping.
Yeah, it's $40. It's like I told you when we talked the other day. I consider shipping part of the card for secret layers because I mean $10 shipping is crazy anyway.
But apparently people are kind of ticked because you can still go buy those. They have not sold out.
Right.
Neither the non-foil or the foil. So good job, people.
And also another important point here is Realms Uncharted is expensive because it hasn't been printed very often. It's only it's a good card. It's not a great card. So there's that, and the IP wasn't anything crazy. I would imagine the SpongeBob secret layers ironically sold out really quickly, and I still believe that SpongeBob counterspell is going to become the most expensive counterspell in the entire set, out of just sheer people want the card, not because counterspell is good or anything. But that's not really the case here. It's just the artwork is really nice. Like, this is the kind of artwork that if I was building Brianna a deck, I would look for this kind of artwork because it would be important to her. She would like it. She likes squirrels, so I've always talked about building her a that Grixis squirrel, Chatterfang. Yeah, that Grixis squirrel, and I would look for like the best squirrel artworks I could find for everything. But I've talked to her about that before because she doesn't actually like Magic, but that would be a way that I'd be able to get her to play Magic if I got artwork that she liked. And so this kind of stuff like that Realms Uncharted would be stuff I would like to have, but I certainly wouldn't have paid the $60 price point. The real problem here was the foils. The foils have never jumped up $30 in price before. The foils were $60 and the normal ones were $30. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And people were saying, if you like this, go ahead and show.
Yeah.
Like, you can show Wizards, buy the non-foil, like pay the normal
Yeah.
price.
Yep.
But do not, for the love of God, pay that foil price, because it's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy for an inferior card that's going to curl.
I know, and that's the thing that always gets me. It's like, I hate buying foils. If I get sent a foil and it's in good quality, if it's in good condition, then fine. But I hate buying foils because you're usually gonna get a card. Their printing is just so like unreliable, and you end up getting a card that curls, and then it's like, great. Now it's my responsibility to knock this out of the card and slap it in a couple of books for a month, and it's ridiculous. I hate that. I have bought non-foil copies of cards before and ended up getting a foil copy. Very rarely does it ever play out in my favor. If that happens, it's usually because the foil is worth the same, or sometimes the foil is worth less, believe it or not.
Yeah, a lot of times. What's really funny about that is, like, there's this card shop in Mountain View, and the guy there admittedly says he doesn't know anything about Magic, and he just puts in a binder of things that he finds and stuff, and he pretty much only puts in the foils, and like if it's like decently played with, he throws it away. So who knows what kind of gems, like how many dual lands, how many fetch lands, what has he thrown away because he does not know.
He's like, no one cares about lands and card games, throws away all those. So lands are some of your most expensive when it comes to refining your deck.
But he doesn't know, so he just puts a bunch of foils in there. So it's painful. It hurts me, but I found a few good things in there. But so you're saying, going back just to the universes and stuff, the universe beyond and universe stuff, I shouldn't feel bad about putting a robot in my Food and Fellowship deck.
Oh, I mean, so look, there are times where I take on additional deck building challenges, and if that's one you want on Food and Fellowship, that's fine. If you want Food and Fellowship to be,
is really good.
yeah, it's really, really good. But if you want the additional challenge of a restriction to your deck, by all means, I have several decks that have like really odd challenges to them. I actually built a commander deck that has an actual working companion in it, not a companion that's in the 99, a companion that's in the companion zone. And it sucked, and that deck is not good. But I mean, eventually, once you have like your favorite decks and you're working on something else, you just kind of want an extra challenge, but you still want it to work. So yeah, just that is a limitation you should only put on yourself if you want to take on the challenge.
Right.
But like you said, you're in a deck that's building food. You know what works really well with food? Academy Manufacturer, because he makes it into mana and clues. Like he's really really good. For that
if one
reason.
token would be, if one thing would be created, you create all three instead. So.
Absolutely, I love Academy Manufacturer. He is part of the infinite turn combo for my Tivit deck, because when Tivit swings or enters, everybody has to vote on whether I get a clue or a treasure. Well, when he's in there, I get both, and then if I have Time Thief, I sacrifice 5 of them, and I take another turn, and then I just keep doing that and kill everybody, and it's great. So
as far as, let's see, I don't know how I feel about the universes beyond and stuff, because I don't care anything about Final Fantasy. I've tried to play the games like pretty late, so that's not biting me. That's not really. The Deadpool Secret Lair, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit, that got me a little bit. That was exciting.
Right. Yeah.
I would have thought I would have been more excited about the Spider-Man set, but I really am not right now. Maybe that'll change as we get a little closer. I might buy. I don't think I'm going to buy a pre-con of Final Fantasy. I just don't care. I don't care to have Cloud. I don't care to have Sephiroth.
I'm not going to, because of how expensive they are as of right now. But we'll see.
Maybe I'll buy a pre-con of the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and I'll get excited about it. Lord of the Rings was my jam. Like,
absolutely.
I should have gotten into Magic the Gathering back when that first came out, but I think I was just like, wow, what have they done with these cards? But now that I'm getting into it, I really don't care too much. Aragorn's black.
Right.
I am enjoying the Lord of the Rings stuff so much. I would love to get some packs and like try to open it and stuff. I've bought a few packs on whatnot, and I've not got anything good. But
dude, I could see you getting super ecstatic if you got one of the serialized
Elven
or Dwarven rings. Like I could see you like being like wanting to frame it, and then Cynthia being like, "Get that off my walls."
No, I hope that they will do more Lord of the Rings stuff. Like, it would be cool if they did.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can. They might could. I don't know. It'd be cool to revisit Lord of the Rings there.
How you feel about Final Fantasy was basically me with Warhammer and with Doctor Who, which was all before that. I was just like, I actually do have a little bit of Doctor Who stuff because Doctor Who really likes this suspend mechanic. I have a deck whose entire thing is a suspend mechanic, so I think I have like 3 doctors in that deck. It's fine. It does the deck thing. Like I said, Warhammer, I have a very few Warhammer cards, but I do have some. I know I do. I'm
the
surprised.
Jurassic Park cards, I might could have gotten into that.
Oh yeah,
like,
I like
I've seen
those
some
a lot.
art. They're really pretty. They're good art.
Yeah. Seth, you should look into you played Fallout, right? The Fallout cards are really good too. I think you would like some of the Fallout precons.
I actually, the Caesar one looks cool. The dog meat one looks pretty cool.
The dog meat one is really good.
Yeah, both of those. That Caesar one apparently is just a really good deck with a lot of good cards. It's like it's worth your money to buy that deck to get the singles. I might pick one of those up eventually. But yeah, I've liked a lot of the stuff that I've seen out of the Fallout. I didn't know that was a thing. That was while I was completely out of Magic, not paying any attention. I didn't know they even did that.
Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. I watched it. I enjoyed the show. I don't care that it's going to be in Magic. I just don't like.
I'm gonna have to see what they do for the art because. Did you see the Hobbit secret lair that they did?
No.
You seen that? There was a secret lair they did for the Hobbit, and as much as I would like to tell you it's good, it was bad. Remember the Hobbit animated series from like forever ago, before Lord of the Rings even came out? So
I've never watched it.
The Hobbit secret lair, it's like they just turned on that show and they just got screen grabs from it, and that's all it was for the art. Like it looks, almost exactly like a screen grab from Hobbit. Not even good ones. They didn't have somebody come in and actually add any flair to it. It literally just looks like I took my computer and I just went, I just used like the cutting tool and cut out of the movie and popped that on a card and made a my own like fake copy or something. It was really bad.
I'm looking at Slip on the Ring. That's pretty rough. Yeah, that doesn't look
and Slip on the Ring is not like a good card or a valuable card too. Like what a horrible choice for the Hobbit secret lair. So they were not good, and that was I think either right before or right after the Lord of the Rings set came out. So people were really upset about that. It's like. You put all this time into Lord of the Rings, and then you did a Hobbit secret lair, and it looks like you just called it in. Like, it was bad.
Wizards of the Coast seems to call it in a lot, and people pay attention. They notice.
People notice, yes.
Because this is an expensive hobby.
Yes.
Only going to get more expensive, and people are sick of their products being messed with and not putting some love into it, for sure.
Yeah.
But, people... you have been a part. How many secret layers have you bought that were like you had to go through the rigmarole of waiting in a queue?
Dude, I didn't even get the Iron Man secret layer. I waited in that queue all day, only to be told that it sold out. Because I was in the queue, I was waiting, I was trying to get to my cart, but it was like, hold on. Because I was also working while this was going on too. So I got in the queue that morning. And I was checking my computer as much as I could be at my computer. I think I even had the queue up on my phone at one point because I had to go because I ended up queuing up around lunchtime when the queue went live. I think I actually joined the queue like 30 minutes late because I got busy with work. So I joined the queue. I was in the queue all day. Finally, I drive home or something and ended up, I get home, I'm on my phone, and it's like, sorry, all sold out now. And I was just like, that is so ridiculous. But one of the guys at my card shop had bought all four of the Marvel Secret Layers, and He sold them to me for like, instead of, so I think that the Iron Man Secret Lair was, I think, $50. I bought them from, I was like, dude, I'm not paying above 60. I'm not, not you, not anybody. He's like, well, I'll sell it to you for 60. I was like, okay. Because $60 was the Iron Man Secret Lair plus shipping. So I was like, I'm not taking a loss. Like that's right. Actually, that may be wrong. It may have been $40. It may have been $30. I don't remember. It was either 40. It's either supposed to be 40 or 50. I can't remember now. It's been so long. Most I paid was a $10 markup, and I didn't pay above that. And he was fine with that. So that's what I did. That's how I got Iron Man. I tried to get the pixel art one, but apparently I didn't pay back in November when I initially signed up for it. But so they did. This is part of a what is it? A charity. This is part of a charity, right? Where part of the proceeds goes to charity. And they did this digital pixel art thing, and they had some really good cards in there. And I actually like the pixel art. It looks like old like 90s style pixel art games, like side scrollers. And I tried to buy it. I think it came with I think it was like a Fierce Guardianship, lightning bolt, and 2 or 3 other cards, and it was a $50 Secret Lair. So I was like, yeah, it looks really good. I wanted it because the Fierce Guardianship was really expensive at the time too. So I was like, it had a lot of its value there. So I go through the whole process. For a good cause. Mm-hmm, yeah, and it was also for charity. So I go through the whole process, and they're like, okay, your purchase is on back order. And I was like, okay. So I waited and I waited and I waited. Finally, February. So this was back in November. Finally, February comes around. And they're like, okay, your back order is now being processed. You can get the cards. Pay now. I was like, what? What do you mean pay now? I paid in November. So in my mind, I paid in November. So when they were finally like, yeah, okay, now you just got to pay now. I was like, no, I didn't have like, I was in like a tighter financial place at the time. So I was like, well, I don't know why this happened. I guess, I don't know. So I ended up not getting it because I didn't have the money at the time to pay $50 randomly in February for cards I thought I had paid for. And I even double checked. I checked my bank account because I was like, if that money went through, I was like, they're about to have a problem. But as far as I could tell, it never went through. But I could have swore I paid back in November. I felt in my heart I had paid in November. So when they were like, "Go ahead and pay in February," it's like, look, I don't have this money anymore. Yeah. So I wasn't able to get it. I was looking forward to that Secret Lair, but I wasn't looking forward to the fact that, unknown to me, I was going to have to wait 4 months for it. Right. So I don't know.
That sucks. And that was the Iron Man one?
No. Iron Man was a different situation altogether. I bought that from somebody else who got it. This was the pixel art Secret Lair that they did last year.
Just pixel art. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, it was. Do you know who Fibblethip is?
No.
Fibblethip is this little like cyclopsy looking alien. He's got a couple of cards. He's got a few Thunder Junction cards, and it's actually an older card that like people like to put in really funny situations. But it's supposed to be like Fibblethip going through like a 2D side scroller type video game fighting Nicol Bolas. It's really neat. It's a neat little card. Okay. Or a neat little set of cards. I liked it. The way things played out didn't work for me, I guess, in this situation. But that's the only other. You have
never successfully bought from Secret Lair then?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I've been following Secret Lairs since that pixel art one, and the last time I tried to get one was Final Fantasy, and yeah, it did not work out.
What was the Final Fantasy one?
I mean, not Final Fantasy. Sorry, Marvel. The Iron Man. Okay. That's the last one I tried. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. Just messed up.
Well, that's pretty much the story I've heard from everyone. Like I said, I'm getting into this, getting new into the drama of everything and stuff. Yeah, and I've heard how bad the Secret Lair drops are. SpongeBob was pretty much the first big Secret Lair drop that dropped when I've been paying attention. Right. And people's like, it was sold out immediately. People, just scalpers are buying like as many copies as they can, as early as they can, getting on the queues fast, and just ruining it for everyone else.
Yeah.
So then
people bought as well. They'll set up
April 1st comes around. Mm-hmm. And I'm hanging out, like I'm with Cynthia. We're taking care of business, driving around in town. It's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I see Pleasant Kenobi has a short that's like, hey, I know it's April Fool's Day, so this might seem like y'all think it's not real, but there's Deadpool Secret Lair cards up on the Secret Layers website. Y'all should go check it out. They look really good.
Yeah.
Deadly Rollick is an expensive card, and that's being reprinted. They look sweet. The Deadpool card is like he's good. So I went after this had been live since like I think 9 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
6 or 7 hours, and there's still cards. I could have bought foil if I wanted. I didn't. I bought the normal, but like I had no problem because they kind of changed the rules a little bit. You were only allowed to buy 3 sets. Mm-hmm. So if there was no queue, I just went in straight up, put it into my my purchase list and paid for it. Like there was no drama, no issue whatsoever.
Is the purchase limit something new that they did for Deadpool that they didn't do for SpongeBob? Okay.
Yes. I don't like. I reckon usually it's order to print, right?
Mm-mm.
No, it's opposite.
Right.
I think Deadpool was an order to print.
Well, the last I heard, not Final Fantasy, the Marvel Secret Lair, they had printed off a certain number. That's all that was going to sell. That's why they sell out so fast and so ridiculously like they do. The only ones that they print to order are the charity ones, like the one that I was supposed to do. That was supposed to be one where they get all the orders in, they print all the cards, they ship them all out. That's not what happened. I don't really understand the situation because when I told my buddy, I was like, "Yeah, I got the I got the pixel art Secret Lair, but they said it's on back order." He's like, "That's weird. Everybody else already got their copies." Because this was like, because I don't go to the card shop, but like maybe twice a month. So I was telling him this like a month after I'd purchased it, and I was like, "Huh." And that was like the last time I talked about it until I found out in February that I didn't actually order it. And they're like, "Okay, you can get it now." So I don't really understand what happened with that one, but that was the last time, to my knowledge, it was print to order, where there was no queue. That was just you go in, you get it, you pay for it, you're done. All the rest of them, they only print so many because it's essentially how they generate a secondary market. Because otherwise, if 100,000 people wanted Deadpool, they'd have to print 100,000 Deadpools, and they don't usually like that because the card's value shoots down when that happens.
Yeah.
So I think the Deadpool thing was just people just didn't know it was real. That's the only thing that my mind can like help comprehend like how this happened.
Well, I do know they did put a limit on people buying. You could only buy 3 total.
And
so that might have helped.
Yeah, that probably helped because the scalpers probably got in there and couldn't get like 10, 20 copies or something possibly. Because I know even to this day you can still see like Marvel Secret Lairs that they're still selling for over asking what was originally asking price.
Does your local game shop have Secret Lair that he can sell?
To my knowledge, if he's ever bought Secret Lairs, ever for himself. I don't think he gets them for the shop.
I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube of collectors and stuff just going into their LGS, and they have some Secret Lairs that they'll buy. Like, I just saw someone open up the Wolverine ones. That's the first time I'd ever even seen them. Was in that video of him opening them up, looking for the special Groot one.
Right.
Kind of upset they didn't have a Groot for Deadpool. Like, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I wish I would have got that Blacker Lotus. Oh well. Probably just sold that card.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, if I ever got a card that was worth that much, I would definitely look into selling it. I would have sold the One Ring in a second. The serialized 101, I would have sold it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
To Post Malone for $2 million.
Yeah, exactly. I would have sold the Post Malone too.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have anything else on the list? We didn't do our name that card.
Oh, yeah. We can do that real quick.
Well, we can. We're still going to talk about some other stuff, though. So my experience with Secret Lair, though, was fine. Like, hopefully they figured that out, and it'll continue to go that smooth. Like, I would like to.
If that's all it takes, and anybody can have like a good experience, then fantastic.
Yeah. Maybe next time it'll be awful. Would you buy the SpongeBob Secret Lair?
No, I wouldn't.
Like, you wouldn't?
No.
I think that one was broken to 3, right? You could buy the Commanders, which it had the 5 different SpongeBob characters, and then I think that there was a lands package you could buy, so it was just a few lands. Like, that's so freaking expensive just to get some land, like one land of each.
Yeah,
Like,
the land,
not even 4 of each.
the secret lair lands have always felt like a huge ripoff for the buyers.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the only time they've done it either.
You need 15 of them. You need enough to be able to put them into a single deck, like a 40 card deck, and no one that's draft. That's limited. So if you're going to put it into a basic deck, that you need enough to put in 60. So like what 20? I don't know I don't play standard enough to know how many.
Standard is usually 50 or 60 cards. So yeah, you would have 20, 25, I would guess, depending on your deck.
That's how many you should be getting if you're paying like $40-$50 for lands, not one of each color. That's absolutely ridiculous. I will never buy that.
Yeah.
And then there was the spells list that had that crazy counter spell, and
the counter spell is going to be one of the most iconic of the SpongeBob Secret Lair, like without a doubt,
for sure. Which actually, did that come? Was that a secret card? You could get that instead of the command zone, right?
I don't
even
know.
With the, I think that's right.
Okay.
I think you could pull that counter spell even in the Friends one, and maybe even in the Lands one. I know you could do it in the Friends one, but you get the command tower as the normal drop. So yeah, hopefully, I pay attention to Secret Lair. This new Commander deck is interesting until I found out that like Commander decks and Secret Lairs are worth $150. I'm not ever going to spend $150 on a pre-con. Right. Like you could build a pretty good deck for $150 if you bought singles. So I'm just never going to do that.
Yeah, and more than likely, what'll happen is if are all the cards like different art, or is it just some of the cards?
No, I think every card is going to be it's going to fit into this theme.
Chances are, if there's just a few of them you want, they won't retain. The only ones that usually retain a lot of value are the ones that were inherently already expensive anyway. Because there's been plenty of cards where I have the Secret Lair version of it, because the Secret Lair version was only a little bit more than the base, or it was just the same price as the base. So I do have like old Secret Lair cards. They do not always hold that like Secret Lair price tag like you see when you buy them directly from Wizards. So I mean, you're gambling there because, like you said, if you're like me and you don't want to spend a lot for a card, I usually buy the cheapest copy of a card unless I have unless there's something special I'm trying to do. Like with Kennen, I wanted to try and get as many full art cards as I can. Now there's some cards in that deck that will never have a full art card, or at least have never to this point. But I would love to have all the full art, everything in there be a full art card where it doesn't have like the conventional border. I think that'd be really cool. And I have quite a few.
That's cool.
And a lot of them I've paid for. Some of them were a little more expensive and some of them weren't. It just depends on the card.
Well, are you ready to play Name That Card, Win That Card, Keep That Card?
Yeah.
Not that you get the card.
Yeah. I expect the card when I come over to your house. All right, go ahead. All right. Do you want me to do
I'm just going to let you ask questions. Yeah, I
think
that's smoother.
All right, so we'll go with card number 1, right?
Just 1 to 9. Just 1 to 9.
Okay, yeah. Is it one color?
Yes.
Okay, is it blue?
No.
Is it green?
No.
Is it red?
Yes.
Oh man, I hate red. Is it an enchantment?
No.
Is it a creature?
No.
Is it in a red artifact?
No.
Okay, that means it's a instant?
No.
It's a sorcery?
Yes.
Okay, so a red sorcery. Is it a burn spell?
No. I don't think. What's a burn spell?
Just does direct damage.
No.
Okay, doesn't do damage. Is it 1 mana?
No.
2 mana?
No.
3 mana?
Yes.
3 mana red sorcery. It doesn't do damage. Is it Act of Treason?
No.
Okay, so does it take a creature?
No.
Let's see here. What else does red like to do? Does it? Man, instants and sorceries are a lot harder. Let's see here. This one I'll probably fail because red's definitely my worst color. Red and black are my worst colors usually. Green and blue I'm pretty solid most of the time, unless it's like a niche card. Let's see here. I need to figure out what it does. Red, 3 mana. It doesn't give you an extra turn, right? 'Cause I think that's a 2 mana red spell. Plus, I think it's an instant. Okay. I think it's called Final something. I'll say 30 more seconds, and that hits us at 55 minutes. If it doesn't burn, let's see, what else does red do? Does it give? Does it adjust attack? Does it adjust power and toughness? Does it give like bonus stuff?
Does nothing to the board state.
To the board state. I feel like I'm gonna be upset when I hear what it is. Like, I feel like it's something I'm overlooking, especially after working on.
You're very upset.
Yeah.
It's a very old card, very famous card, very expensive card.
Okay.
The revised edition is worth $315. The 1993 version is worth $3,240.
It's not Chaos Orb, is it?
Nope. So let me give you a clue here. All players must discard their hands.
Oh, it's Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
I did not think about red the wheel effects. Yeah.
That was the card I chose tonight. I have to choose famous cards because if I don't know them, I know you won't. Or I mean, like, no, maybe that's backwards. If I don't know them, I don't know if you will or not.
Right.
I would never guess any of these that I might would have guessed Llanowar Elves last week, but okay. So you have built quite a few things here. Do you want to talk about your 32 challenge, or do you want to talk about what you have just recently done as of today?
Well, yeah, we're kind of running on time. I'm running low on time, so we'll do cubed another time, and we'll just go with the 32 challenge. Did you not want to say anything more about Deadpool before we move on? Since we're kind of leaving the topic of Secret Layers.
No, I mean the cards are cool. I'm gonna build a deck on it. When I build that deck, then we can talk about that, I guess.
Gotcha. I definitely want to do Iron Man versus Deadpool at some point. I think it's gonna be a fun game. I'm definitely building Iron Man to be bracket 3. I think that's kind of the plan. Is I want to make him as good of a bracket 3 as I can, but we'll see how that goes after that.
So when did you start the 32 challenge?
I want to say a year and a half ago.
What made you do that? How many cards did you have in your collection? Like, how did you begin 32 challenge?
So I mean, I had at the time I think I had like 5 decks, and I would find a card I would want. I would find a card and I'd be like, oh man, this for me traditionally I find the card that's going to be the commander, right? And I'm like, oh man, this Sphinx. I love Sphinxes. Like, Sphinxes are so cool. And then there's this guy. His name is Tivit. He's like my original Sphinx was not Tivit. It was a much worse one, much worse Esper Sphinx. Turns out by picking Tivit to be my Esper commander, I was picking like one of the best Esper commanders. Maybe not the best, but one of the better ones. And yeah, so I just it started with me getting back into Magic. The only deck I had at the time was whatever the other Esper Sphinx is. I can't even remember her name. She did. She cheated creatures into play if they were an even converted mana cost. Like I said, I can usually remember the effect. I do not always remember the name. But if the converted mana cost was if the converted mana cost was odd, she could cheat them into play when she dealt combat damage. So that was my Esper deck. And then I had a Simic, green and blue, or Merfolk deck. The only 2 decks I had. Started playing Magic the Gathering again. Because I found out about the local card store. My buddy was already going up there, and we were hanging out. We were having a good time. So the first thing I did was I started looking up stuff, and I was like, well, a guy that I'd played against, he was like, if I do this and this, I can create infinite mana. And I was like, oh, infinite mana, that's cool. So I started looking things up, and I was like, what can I do to because my Merfolk deck was the one that I felt like I liked a little better, because I didn't really like my Esper Sphinx deck because I felt like it sucked. It was, like I said, it was a Sphinx tribal. It just didn't feel very good to play. So I was like, okay, well, let's go with the Simic. And then I found this guy, this little guy, nothing special. His name is Kennen, Bound for Prodigy. And it's so easy to make infinite mana with him. I was like, okay, he's gonna become my new commander. And as I was building the deck, I started to realize, like, this isn't really Merfolk anymore. So I ended up just tossing out all the Merfolk and just making it a really good Simic deck based around making infinite mana so that I could win the game. And once that deck was like, and it's like probably like version 3 or 4, I eventually moved on to other decks. I found, I think Marsil was my third deck, and I was like, oh, this is a really stupid effect that I could probably do something with. I had never really built a Voltron deck, and for any of you who don't know, Voltron is when you stack a whole bunch of enchantments or equipment or buffs all onto one creature in Commander, traditionally your commander, and then you just haymaker somebody and just pray they can't deal with your one commander. And I never really built a Voltron deck, so I considered this my version of Voltron, right? It was Marsil, and he exiled cards, and then he got those abilities. My buddy's like, that's not really a Voltron deck because you don't swing. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. All the abilities are on the commander, and then he's going to kill you. So it's not a true sense of the word Voltron, but I mean, I'm basically stacking a bunch of abilities on one thing and then trying to win the game desperately. The deck is also bad, I might add. To this point, my best deck was still Kennen, so I built that one. I don't even know what my next 2 were because it's been so long. And then before I know it, I think I had 5. And I don't even remember who told me. I don't know if it was like one of the guys at the card shop or if I saw it in a video, but I was like, 32 challenge, like that sounds like fun. That sounds like something I could really get behind. I was like, but I've only got 5. I still have a long way to go. So I just kept going. And then once I made it to halfway, I was like, okay, I can do this. So I took like a long break from the card shop because I was super busy. And the next time I showed up to the card shop, I'd built 5 more decks. And this is when I really...
So let's pause real quick.
All right.
The 32 deck then, is there that you have one deck that is mono green, one deck mono red, one deck mono white, one deck. So that's 5. Mm-hmm. And then there's 10 duels, right? 10
I believe so,
of
yeah. There's 10,
yeah.
Whatever they're called, yeah.
So that's 15.
There's a word for each of them, but
how many 3 mana is there then?
More than 10.
More than 10 3 mana?
Yeah, because we're only at, well, yeah, I think it's like, there's a way of calculating it. It's 2 color cards.
It was fewer than 10.
There's 5 colors. There's 3 color pairs. I want to say 3 color.
I thought they had rules between them. It was always it was two colors that were on a team, and then their opposite color.
No, in the 32 challenge, it's every possible pairing of 3 colors. I don't remember what the thing is. There's math for it, but let me see here. It might be easier just to count. My brain doesn't work as well at 2 o'clock at night. Not the infamous 32 challenge.
It says there are 10. There are 10 3-color combinations.
There's only 10? Then is there more than 10?
Esper, Grixis, Jund, Naya, Mardu, Temur, Abzan, Jeska,
you're right,
and
there's 10.
Sultai.
Okay. Yeah. Man, I just can't do math tonight. I feel like there would have been more. But yeah, there's 10 2-color, 10 3-color, 5 4-color, obviously, because the 4-color is easy. It's just strike one of the colors, and then there's 1 5-color. And then there's also colorless. Colorless sucks.
So Glint, Dune, Ink, Witch, and Yor, which I have never heard of any of those before.
No, very few people usually do know them. Usually it's was it like Sans White, Sans Black? So that's usually how people acknowledge those colors. Because what you're talking about, that comes from, I don't know, like one of the planes where being 4-color like had something to do with it. There's also the Nephilim. Oh no, the Nephilim. That's where that comes from. The Nephilim were the original 4-color cards, and like the one that's called Glint, that was Glint-eyed Nephilim. That's where those names come from. Yor is one of the Nephilim as well. They only produced 5 of them, and back in the days before partners existed, people would actually allow the use of the Nephilim, who are not legendary creatures, by the way, to be your commander, since there were just no 4-color options before that. So yeah, it was actually really popular. But now we actually have 4-color options, as well as, of course, the ever-powerful partners. for 4 colors as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, so 32 challenges is every conceivable combination of colors from from being monocolor to 5-color.
Okay, we'll continue. You went back to your shop and you built a bunch more.
Yeah, so for me the biggest hurdle was like getting a hold of all the cards. But eventually it's like we have this rule at the shop where because I was like, how come they have proxies? And it's like, well, they own a copy of the card, they just don't own multiple copies. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's like, as long as you own one copy, you can proxy. It's like, yeah, that's fine. As long as because my card's like one, he's like, as long as I know you either have the card or have intentions to get the card,
Who said reasonable.
This is my shop owner. So I was like, okay, so yeah, because we have people in the shop.
Not okay with just having proxies. You have to have the intention of buying the card, or you have to have the card.
At the time, this was for his little like weekend tournaments.
Okay,
because I'd asked about it because somebody they brought a bunch of proxies, and I was like, well, he has all those cards in his cart. He's just working on paying them off little by little. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was just like, well, I own one copy of a lot of the best cards. So from there, I just started going with, okay, well, what can I build decks out of? And I just went on a proxy spree. And that's just where things really kicked off. I think I came in with 5 decks. I don't even think I've played. To be honest, I have 32 decks. I don't know if I've actually played all 32 decks. I know I've played most of them at least once. But there's one or two that I couldn't guarantee you because it's really hard once you have this many to remember them all. And that's why I was telling you when we talked about it before. That was like, yeah, give yourself a deck with like a really rigid deck limit or something that's like that will make it stand out. Because at the end of the day, that's the problem. Is I think I have 3 decks that all use persist combos. So to me, it's like, well, why? What makes them different? One of them uses persist combos, and it's my pauper deck. One of them uses persist combos, and it's my Luris companion deck. So it has a massive companion restriction where no permanent in the deck is higher than 2 mana. So it was different. And I think I have a third one that runs persist, I think. But I don't remember which deck it is, so I'm not 100% sure even what it is. It might just be those 2. But so then the thing is you're gonna see where you have like reoccurring effects, and I want my decks to have something like some like unique factor to them, even if I'm not able to use them very often. And here lately, the challenge has been I had just finished going through all 32 of my decks, putting them all in Mana Box, knowing where they stand, what their bracket levels are. I sent you a picture. I was like, I got 14 bracket 1s. I got 1 bracket 2. I got several bracket 3s. I got several bracket 4s, and then the only bracket 5s were the all proxy decks that I've made. And then, sure enough, that week they released the Game Changer list. Now the deck that AJ played that was all walls is now immediately black bracket 3 because it had Aura Shards in it. So I was like, okay, well, maybe we take Aura Shards out. And you remember the Aura Shards? It is a good card. Like, remember how much of an effect AJ was able to have on the game because of that one card? I would say it's worthy of the name Game Changer if you ask me. Like, it's ironic how they weren't wrong with what they added. And now because I have so many decks, I have to go through them all again and reevaluate them. But so it's been fun.
Now that you've done it, how have you played every deck at this point?
I believe I've played every deck once. There could be a deck that I've just never got on. Like, for instance, that day that I made 5, I didn't play all 5 of them the night I made them. I think I played 2. My Zangief deck, there's a kid at the card shop. He just graduated from high school recently. He's played Zangief more than I have. I built it. I played it once, and I was like, I love Zangief. And then he's like, hey, Dustin, I need to borrow a deck tonight. I was like, sure, what do you want to borrow? And he's like, I had Zangief with me because I don't usually bring all of my decks to the card shop anymore because I have too many. I'll just grab a couple that I think I want to play that night, and that way it like limits my choices, and I don't have to worry about things too much. He was like, I'll play Zangief. He loved it. He loves Zangief. He wants to build his own Zangief now. Whenever he gets like the money and the cards. And he's played it probably 3 times. I think I played it twice. And now I think, who was it? Kyle played it the one time. So it's already getting to where if Kyle plays it one more time, he's played it as many times as me.
Well, I don't think Kyle's going to play it anymore. He is loving that Jeskai Strikers.
Okay, good. Yeah. But I think if you want, like, if you just want a challenge and you don't mind spending some money and you love the game, there's nothing wrong with it. You're gonna hit the same point I am, where it's like I definitely have too many, but I'm not upset about it. And I've put a lot of time and energy into it. I don't want to like just get rid of it. I'm to the point now
I was going to
where
ask, when will you just tear them down?
if they're the only deck of that color, never. When I build Iron Man, that's when I'll start making the decision what I want to do going forward. Like, do I want 2 Is-It decks, or do I want to get rid of the Suspend? Because the Suspend is functionally very unique. So if the deck can maintain like some of its identity, then I may not want to break it down. Like, I don't really want to break down my Suspend deck to build Iron Man, because Iron Man is just going to be very similar to Magda and a lot of my other artifact decks, because I have several decks that focus on artifacts. So I may not want to break down Magda, or not Magda. I may not want to bring down Joyra, the Suspend deck. I don't know. I'll decide that once I finish Iron Man. I haven't really put in a lot of time or effort into him. I figure once you're like serious about getting Deadpool built, I'll be more Johnny on the spot working on Iron Man. It'll give me a reason to finish the deck. So I haven't really decided though, because it's to the point now. I have such my collection is wide enough that other than like a few functionally unique effects, I don't have to worry too much about it, because I'll just make proxies of anything I need to now. I'm not going to stress myself out over, well, Iron Man's tier 3. You know what that means? He has to have a Rhystic Study, right? So I'm not going to go buy another Rhystic Study. I have tons and tons of proxies I've printed. I'm just going to proxy it. I would say, as far as uniquity, the only thing that I kind of feel like I should do is the 4 decks that I proxied. I should probably the 4 decks that I completely proxied. At some point, I should look to building my own copies of those, and that way I have I have most of the cards of all of them. And I kind of want to, because one of them that I proxied was the 5 color. I proxied 5 color and 0 color, or colorless, I should say, because they're the hardest to deal with. 5 color is very inefficient mana base, and so I proxied it because I don't have all the dual lands, but it makes it feel better to run if you've got if your land base is efficient. So I would say, other than Iron Man, that's kind of the next goal I'm going to tackle, is having my own deck of the 4 that I proxied. I would like to make my own version of Thalia and Gitrog, and I would also like to make my own version of the 5 color. I just don't know what I'm going to do about the other 2 in that little color pie. The other 2 that I proxied was the colorless, and I got to remember who the partners are. The partners are Thrasios and I believe Timna, which means green, blue, white, black. So no red. So non-red is the other one that I proxied. So
right now,
drafted. Go ahead. Sorry.
As far as my 32 challenge that I'm not doing at all, but I've got Bant with my Food and Fellowship. Right. I have got that tribal elf.
I thought Food and Fellowship was full color. Sam and Frodo share white, don't they?
Yes.
Okay.
Frodo is white black, and Sam is colorless white and green. Yeah. I love that deck. I played, Dexter was over. We had a seafood boil last night, and he stayed back and he played my elf deck against me. Mm-hmm. And I played my Food and Fellowship. The first game, I was able to beat him, but then the second one, he absolutely went off and just absolutely overwhelmed me. Like, could not do anything against him. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. So I have a mono green. I've got the Bant. I've got a Soul Tie, and then I have got the Wooburg. I've got the Slivers.
Right. 5 color slivers.
I was listening to a video today about Aragorn the Uniter, and that's a 4 color deck. That's pretty sweet.
Yep.
I want to build the Rakdos Deadpool deck, obviously. I've got that on the back burner. I love the Jolly Balloon Man. That will absolutely be my Boros deck
Oh yeah.
because that just looks so freaking fun.
What you're doing right now is basically where I got started. That was because I had a bunch of commanders. I was like, I really want to do this. I really want to do that. And
So how did you go about it next? Like did you go onto EDH Rec and like just type in the commander and be like, okay, this is the best deck that someone did, or did you build it all 99 cards yourself?
Well, usually what I would do is, I like for instance, there's cards that I would see and I'd be like, okay, I really like this card. And I would start off usually with EDH Rec. I would look at highest energy cards, and then usually after that, I build the deck myself, and then just kind of look around once it's done to see like where can I make improvements, where did I go wrong, what should I change basically. But I like to be able to build the decks myself. I found out after I built Kennen, and I liked it, and it was a good deck, that Tyler on Play to Win is a huge Kennen player. He's really good. He plays CDH Kennen. His deck is absolutely it's a beast. He's completely different play patterns from me. I run untappers and give them mana abilities to make them mana tappers and then generate infinite mana that way. He hates that effect. He hates it. He thinks it's too slow and it's not good enough. And he knows CDH better than I am, so maybe he's right, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I like to do with Kennen, so that's what I made Kennen to do. He actually prefers using Kennen to flip into big like board, basically big board threats. And then from there, his end goal, one of his end goals is usually trying to get Hullbreaker Horror out, and then using net positive mana rocks to just knock everything on the board back to opponent's hands, and then cast your rocks infinitely, generating infinite mana, bringing out Kennen, and then using Thassa's to win is really what he does. And I mean, it's good, and I do have a Hullbreaker Horror in there because of him. Like I was like, oh, obviously I need a Hullbreaker Horror. It's too good in Kennen not to have. But my goal is to, Pili Pala. He's my favorite one. Pili Pala with a mana ability, and I win the game. And the reason I actually like that combo so much is because once the pieces are on board, once I start activating it, you cannot stop. You have to stop me before I get to that point. And the reason for that is because I tap Pili Pala for 2 mana, because one from the effect, the other from my commander doubling the mana, right? I tap him for 2 mana. That's a mana ability. You cannot, as a player, respond to that ability. So I tap him for 2 mana. Then he has pay 2 mana, untap him, get 1 mana of any color. That's also a mana ability. You can't respond to that. And then I tap him again, and then I untap him, and I tap him again. So I can generate infinite mana, and no one can stop me with it. And then, so let's say I generate, I'm going to do 1 million green, 1 million blue. And then I go, okay, now I'm going to do whatever, this effect. Now you can respond, sure, you can kill him, but I still have 2 million mana. I'm going to win the game. You can't do anything about it. Like, I'm going to win the game, for sure. And that's why I like it so much. My goal is get pieces on board, win. And my goal is to protect those pieces until my turn comes around and I lose Summon Sickness. Or in the event I have a good hand, I can give Pili Pala haste, and then I do it all anyway. So that's kind of the idea, is get what I need, to assemble the pieces, and then win from there, protecting him as best I can. He doesn't like that effect, so it's a different deck building strategy. But like I said, I'm technically playing at tier 4. He's technically playing at tier 5, so very different levels. I don't know. Even if I did get the last few pieces that I know my deck needs before it really needs to be in CDH, I would probably still lose to his deck, probably, because he, like I said, he has more experience in the format. He knows better than I do. Pili Pala is by all sense a dead card outside of being my win con, and that's one of the big things that he talks about, is he doesn't want any dead cards ever. Right. Even the cards that win him the game also do other things besides win him the game if he's not there yet, and that's kind of one of his principles that I know I hear him talk about a lot. So he's definitely helped me make my deck better, but I did make my deck myself first, and I think that's important. Like, you shouldn't build somebody else's deck. Especially when you're getting early, build your deck, and then if you find improvements that you make, then you make those improvements. Like that way, the core is still yours, even if you swapped out every piece. It's you evolved with it. I think that's a great deck building strategy, and I hope that's what everybody would like, because this is at the end of the day a trading card game, not a look to build up online, wink wink, and play what other people tell you to do. It's
just so easy to do, and especially when it's pretty overwhelming. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't have a huge collection right now.
Yeah, and I didn't when I started. I had 2 decks, So
which it can also just be overwhelming trying to look and see okay, I didn't know that when I just looked at trying to upgrade the Food and Fellowship, but at first people was like, you need a Mondrak. So I was looking around on whatnot, hey, anyone got a Mondrak? Dude, that's a $40 card. You really want that? Oh no, actually I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay that.
Very expensive. They're very expensive cards. Another one that you would probably want is
Vito is good. Vito is really good.
What is?
Vito, but I don't think that he is a. He might not be a coin doubler, but he fits in the deck really well.
Yeah, I think he when you gain life, people lose life.
Yeah, maybe that's right.
Yeah. No, doubling season is what I'm thinking of. No, I just remember.
Yeah, doubling season.
Doubling season is really good. Also really expensive.
Yep. So there's that. Especially with Deadpool, I don't know all those mirror things. I didn't know about Myriad. So it would be hard for me to try to build a deck that does him justice. I did have the idea, because you can trade with anything. So I thought actually it'd be kind of cool, because I like that Alicia card. The Who Laughs at Fate.
Yeah.
She has that ability where when she attacks, she gets a +1/+1 and then brings something back from the graveyard. You put that onto Deadpool, he starts off as a 4/3 with a +1/+1 when he attacks. He can bring some pretty big stuff in pretty quick. You just get rid of, the Alicia card after you get it on there. And so you could have a pretty fun little synergy there, and they're both red-black. But I don't know. One of these days, you're gonna have to give me a challenge to try to complete between one episode to the next.
Okay, yeah, I'll start thinking about something for the next time we do this.
And I thought we were going to work together on a cube, but you finished a cube on your own.
I have a lot of books, so I just can't.
I think you really need to trim it down. I think you need to trim it down a couple hundred cards.
I don't know. I thought I did pretty good. Because the idea is that I don't want every card showing up. I don't want the cube to become, well, if I get these cards, I'm gonna win. I don't want that. I want there to be...
that's the point. That is the point of the cube, though. You are supposed to have, especially if you only have 4 people. No, kind of. You want to your meta, your specific meta, and then you okay. Well, today this person got this card. What was your bummer card? What was the card that you you kept drawing and it never worked out for you? You're oh well, then we don't need that card, and you can replace that with another card. That's the cool thing about the cube, is that you create the meta that works. You want all your colors to be viable. You want all the cards to work.
Yeah. But that's what I was actually thinking about today. I was like, okay, white definitely will give green a hard time. Red will give everybody but green a hard time. Green is probably going to absolutely decimate black. And possibly red. Red and green is going to be an interesting, whoever builds up fast. If green builds up enough early, then it will overrun red completely. And I was just kind of thinking about that. I think white is the best in line to shut down green and possibly black, but white can't do much against red. So it's just gonna be really interesting, because looking at what's in there and what they're doing. I was trying to stay true as I could with my card pool to their color identity. So blue has counter spells. There's a few effects that I kept pretty universal. I think they all have a little bit of landfall, even though that's more traditionally a green thing. Green, I think, has the most pump spells. White has the most enchantments. Green or red has the most artifact destruction, but green has artifact and enchantment destruction, but not as much as I think red does. Maybe I'm not sure about that completely. And then what I did was I selected 5 cards that I had that I had 4 copies of, and those appear in a full playset, giving each color a little bit of more consistency in the effects that they're supposed to do anyway. And I don't know. I thought that I just figured like because I don't really want a meta. I want it to feel like a simulated draft environment. I don't want.
Well, it is your cube, so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, and that was kind of the idea. And it's also peasants, so it's all commons.
Yeah.
And that's it's just working with what I had. But yeah, I mean, I could cut it down, but even then, I was having problems because I found more cards after I finished. And I was like, oh, these need to be in there. So I had to go through all 150 cards and go, okay, what am I cutting? What am I cutting? What am I cutting? I guess you. There are definitely dead cards in there, but part of it was I wanted it to be part of like that identity. Like I think white has a couple of vanilla creatures that I just thought was fun. It's just a really fun effect. There's actually a little bit of land walk dipped in, and I was like, this would be really situational. But I could just see like how great would it be if you have that. Like I have this really old card that's called Mountain Yeti. It is a red card with Mountain Walk and protection from white. So if you're playing against a Boros player who has mountains but is primarily white, you are going to walk all over them with this one card. It's just going to be a really funny situation. I also haven't really decided what size deck I would want the players to try to build. So do I want to give everyone a large card pool, like where we do like 3 20 card packs, you know? And then that way you have 60 cards, and you can just trim it down to 40, and you have you can build a better deck that way. I have a lot. The idea is the bolstered size gives you more like open ended for the playing. Is kind of the thoughts I had.
Well, when you finish it and you decide what you want to do with it, you need to make a YouTube video like explaining it, because that's pretty cool. I am excited about playing it, but now since you've made one, I might just have to make my own.
Yeah.
I don't think I want peasant. I think I'd probably do pauper if I could,
because it's harder to get a hold of uncommons.
I don't have. I probably have a better chance of putting a 360 card deck together using commons and uncommons rather than just the commons.
Well, because let me ask you this: when you're building, so your idea for your cube being pauper is, like I said, mine's peasant. I just want to mix everything together and make packs out of it and just see what happens. But with yours being pauper, do you want like
wait, no, you're right. Peasant is what I meant. You're right. Peasant is what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah. Peasant.
Because you get to use common and uncommon.
No. Pauper is... No.
Pauper is commons. Peasant is common and uncommon.
Oh, maybe I've got the names backwards. Mine's all commons.
Okay. Yours is peasant. No, maybe.
I don't
Yours is pauper. Yours is pauper. That's for sure pauper.
Okay.
Peasant is better than pauper.
Pauper commander is where you have all commons and an uncommon commander. I guess that's why I got confused. Okay. So yeah, mine is pauper. Peasant is where it's a common uncommon mix. So what would a peasant commander be? Like you can have a rare commander, but the rest of the cards are all commons, uncommons?
I don't know.
That's still pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
So yeah, I need to work on that because I know I have a couple of colors that I could put together. And
right.
So did you focus on just building strong monocolored decks?
I mean, they would work well together. Like there are effects that I included across all of them. Like all of them have a little bit of land walk. All of them. Okay, I didn't do. Okay, so I wanted it to be simple to run. So other than the cards themselves, the only other thing you need is dice to keep up with +1/+1 counters. Because I didn't do anything that makes tokens. I wanted to remove tokens, and any of the more obscure effects I also removed. And then no two-sided cards either, because I don't have sleeves for all of these. So I wanted it to be be able to play with them unsleeved, and maybe I'll look to buying 800 sleeves for for cheap if I can find it. If I could find like 1,000 sleeves for $20, I'd probably do that. And that way they're all sleeved and they'll shuffle a little better, and they'll also be easier to mix up. But for now, there's no two-sided cards, no token, nothing creates tokens in the entire thing, which does suck because that's a big thing of like White's color identity is making little tokens, and Blue's color identity is making token copies, and I don't know. So every color loves tokens, but White just loves it the most because they like to make little soldiers. At first, I was going to include soldier tokens for White, but then I just decided in the end I was like, I don't even have enough effects to really make it all that great. It would just be one or two cards, and they would just be annoying. So I decided no tokens, no obscure effects, no two-sided cards. And the only thing I haven't really done is I haven't considered if I want to do any multicolor lands. I don't have any lands for the thing either. I'd have to look into getting some bulk lands from the card shop or something. And I kind of just want to go basic lands too. I mean, I'm playing into the format, just simple, easy, cheap. I think it would be fun. My idea next is what kind of I would want to make a little tournament out of this. So it's I would want to do tournament bracketing, and it's I was thinking about it the other day. What I would really like to do to have everyone's deck shine in a multitude of ways. I would like to do a 4-man pod first, where everyone has 20 life, because these are going to be 40 card decks. We would never make it to 40 life, most likely. The last thing I want is somebody to win because everybody else decked out. That would be ridiculous. Yes. So I would want to do I was thinking a 4-man pod first. The winner gets 3 points. Whoever comes in second gets 2 points. And then after that, everyone plays everyone else in a 1v1. And then if you win, you get a point. If you lose, you get no. Or maybe if you win, you get, I don't know. I'll figure out that all later. But ideally, when that's all done, the whole thing comes to an end with one last 4-man pod. And at this point, everyone knows what everyone else's deck does and their average deck strength. So it's the first pod is, where are we sitting at? Who the threats? Nothing is really known about what each other's doing. But then the final pod is, okay, I know you're going to come out swinging early, so I need you to die. I need to stop you quick. And just the last pod is just the kind of the last hurrah. You know what you're dealing with. You know where this is going. And then just see how far your deck can do. But it also, some decks will really shine in a multiplayer environment, and then other decks will shine more in a 1v1 environment. So you could probably still win depending on how I do a point assignments. You could probably still win if you never lose the 1v1, but then you have no chance of winning the pod, right? That's the idea. Is is your deck can shine in the situations where it's best at. Plus, because my thoughts are, red probably can't win the pod, but red could definitely stop somebody else from winning the pod by doing enough damage. So red will be a color that you probably want to align with if that's going to be if that's going to be the area where you're weakest. Because I'm just thinking about all this stuff, and it would be really fun. I definitely want to see if we can get some people together. 4 would be great. I think it would be perfect. But
Dexter is really good. He actually is a really good player. He knows a lot about the game. And Kyle would be he's interested in draft, so we might try that May 31st. Since AJ's going to be out of pocket, we might not video it. I would like to do a video of us trying Commander or something sometime, but like you and AJ said, that's going to be tough.
It's because you need a setup for it.
Yeah.
Because even though I think you said Prof had 3 cameras, but the thing that you also have to consider is he also has software where they can rotate the cameras and go in and actually get because that direct down camera, you're getting people where you can't just throw that up on the image and just call it done. You have to reorient it, and just there's a lot more work to it. Plus, it needs to be really high definition because when you zoom in, you get really pixelated. But anyway, that's nothing to do with what we're talking about now. I think this will be a good close. We ended up going an hour and a half this time. So
yeah. Thank you guys for joining us here at Man Dorks. I don't even know if I said the name of the show at the beginning.
You did.
I don't remember.
I think you did in the beginning. If you didn't,
maybe I did.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm certainly enjoying talking more Magic the Gathering, thinking about Magic the Gathering, just playing it more. But we'll see y'all next time here at the Commoners of D&D.
Yep.
Don't forget to check us out everywhere that we are. Every Monday and Friday, we're streaming on Twitch. We got a Discord that is alive and well. Come and check us out. Come join us. One day. I'm getting really close to. I bought a table today at an auction, specifically so that I can play spell table. It's just a stupid little desk that is like it's like an information desk from Western Union or something, and it was just at this place, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's just got this little perfect little thing that it's black. I can just place my cards and it'll be easy to read from that computer. And it has like a little shelf on the top. If I just buy a webcam, I can just like attach it to that and point straight down. It's perfect. So I bought it for $5. So I've got a table. I just need to get a good webcam.
Okay. I need to get a better webcam. So for any of you watching the video version of this, I haven't got a new webcam yet. That's the plan, though, is I'm going to get one. I had to come up with some really dumb stuff. So last time I was actually using Spell Table, which I realized before we did this podcast, I was like, that's just adding extra difficulty for nothing. So this is just straight from my webcam. But the quality didn't really go up much. So I'll look into getting something a little better. This one's supposed to be able to do facial recognition, but I don't think that's true. It's not very good quality. But yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I hope you learned a lot or enjoyed the listen at least. And I mean, we'll keep doing this as long as we can, and as long as we continue to look into Magic the Gathering, as long as Wizards continue to give us something to support.
Hey, if you would like for us to look at your deck, send us a deck list. We will go over it here on the podcast. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you have any interesting takes, let us know, and we would love to give you a shout out and talk about what you want to talk about.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys next time here at Man Dorks. Bye.
See ya.